Everton have secured their status as a Premier League club for another season.
Wait, what? I thought they won the league.
I know it's very easy to get
What?
confused, mate. I can understand why you're confused. Absolutely, the release of emotion from Evertonians has been. I don't want to use the word embarrassing because I understand it. I do understand the relief. You know, they've got that new stadium and they want to be playing in the Premier League, so I get the relief, and I'm not going to have a dig at them for jumping on the pitch and celebrating and stuff like that. And that I'll leave that for others to do. But what I did find funny was Frank Lampard actually having a little chat about the fact that, you know, people on your reported that Everton were in a relegation battle. They weren't. You're reporting that Everton were fighting for their lives down there and stuff like that. Let's make this really clear, mate. That is an embarrassment that they're that low in the league. You know, with the money they've spent, they should be nowhere near a relegation battle, or they shouldn't have been.
Listen, they've been horrifically mismanaged the last couple of years. They're in dire straits. The club has been rotten from top to bottom. They were in a bad place when Lampard came in, and a lot of Everton fans that I know, like my brother being one of them, had consigned themselves to relegation and the likelihood that they would be in the championship. And make no mistake, had they have gone down, that could have been the ruination of the club. That could have been the end of the club, given the financial troubles they're in, given the stadium that they're due to build. So I do get the relief, and you know, we make jokes about it, but it is a bit Tim Popper on the pitch for a club of Everton size. But given what the flip side of the coin would have been, I get the release of emotion, because if they had gone down to the championship, they very easily could have found themselves folding as a club, because, as I said, they're in financial ruin, and it would have been the end of their new stadium. So this has given them a new lease of life, and fair play to them. It did look like good scenes. Obviously, not the Paddy Vieira incident. I still think it's very dangerous fans are onto the pitch. You could have one lunatic with a weapon on him one day that's going to go really, really badly. You look what happened to Billy Sharp. So I think pitch invasions, it's good scenes, but it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous.
We touched about this at the start when we were waiting for the chat to fill up. On the whole pitch invasion thing, I'm not against it as a whole. I like that release for fans. I like, you know, it's a tradition to some extent. But as you've so correctly pointed out, there has been some incidents over the past week or so that have been unsavory, whether they are, you know, Billy Sharp getting that disgusting headbutt from that gentleman who rightfully was locked up, or we seen a Port Vale last night as well in the playoff semi-final there. There was a couple of issues. And then, of course, Patrick Vieira being confronted and lashing out at that Everton fan. I presume it was an Everton fan on the pitch. What would you like to see done about this, mate? Because there's no real way to actually stop people getting on the pitch if they really want to.
No, well, that's it. You can't stop them, and you can, you know, a lot of I've seen like umpteen pitch invasions where no trouble getting with it, but you'll always get them couple of gurriers and couple of scumbags that are prone to doing shit. Like the video of Billy Sharp getting headbutted is sickening. Like the pace at which that happened, that could have easily gone a lot worse than just a couple of stitches. That, you know, your man, he could have fell awkwardly there, and you never know.
I agree. That was worrying. That was very, very sickening to see.
It was sick to see, and that man's gone through enough in his life with the death of a young child and stuff. But you listen, it's just like I can't imagine how that would feel. It's very scary. I mean, I played a charity game a couple of months ago, and a fan ran onto the pitch and started hitting Calda's dragon. There was a clip that went around. That's just TikTok. Who are we? Random TikTokers, and you have kids run onto the pitch. He actually attacked Cal, and Cal retaliated and gave him a few kicks, gave him a few digs. But and the guy was only like 16 or something. Like, you can't. People just feel so entitled, because I think I seen a tweet. It was like, these fans shout abuse at players, and players can't retaliate or don't retaliate because they're obviously up in the stands. But when you do it in front of their face, it's human nature. And you see what happened to Paddy Vieira. Your man was throwing him loads of abuse. Fair play to him. He must have had some serious stuff inside him, because to have the bravery to go up to Paddy Vieira, I wish there was no cameras and Vieira gave him a proper hiding. But you can't stop it. But you just have to urge people to not do it.
It's a beautiful thing to see when it's the celebratory side of it, and fans are on with their own team and they're lifting the players on their shoulders and they're singing. Beautiful to see, and it looks great on screen and all that stuff. But you're right, there's been some worrying stuff, and I hope to God that it all settles down, because it's very difficult, and we don't want games being overpoliced, and we don't want anybody to put themselves in harm's way. So fingers crossed we get this all resolved moving on.